Now let's take it back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What type of student were you in school?
Oh my God, I was the smart girl. I was the nerdy girl, so to speak. Not really, because I did choir and I did performing arts. I was on homecoming court. But I was student council president. I was salutatorian of my class. I graduated with a rank of 2 out of 300 and something graduates. I was the smart girl. So me now, everybody seeing this, it's weird. It's weird to them.
What about college?
College, I was the shit in college. I'm gonna claim that. I went to the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. Shout out to all my Illini.
Graduated?
Yes, of course. Attended and I graduated in 3 years, actually. I graduated early.
How'd you do that?
Oh, so my old high school, Bloom High School, they had a program that was connected to our local community college where if you had a certain GPA as a junior and a senior, you can take certain college courses for free. So I know a lot of people, thought that was lame and they didn't want to give up their summer, but my lame ass was sitting in English 101 and like Chem 101 when I was in high school. So when I got to college, technically I was already a sophomore by credit. So I came in technically on my second year credit-wise. But in college, I did serve as the Miss University of Illinois, 2012. So I was the face of a predominantly white university. That was an interesting experience, I think college taught me a lot about life, and it definitely stretches far beyond the classroom. What you learn in college, it stretches far beyond that campus. It really does.
Did you want to pursue a master's in what you were going for or no?
So I went to school. I actually came in pre-med. I wanted to be a cardiologist. That's what I wanted to do. And when I first took my first chemistry class in college at the University of Illinois, I was sitting there like, what the hell is this? Now, this is the interesting fact. I didn't change my major because I didn't pass the class. You can pull up my transcript. I passed the class with a B. I actually, like I said, WBML radio, I saw a flyer as a freshman, learn to be a radio personality, get on the air, yada, yada, yada. So I went to a open casting call. I started off as the intern. I didn't even work. I started off as the intern and worked my way up all the way as the general manager. I'm so proud of, the legacy that I did leave there because I started an event called The Cypher. And it's in conjunction with thisis50.com where we bring together 10 MCs that are in the Illinois collegiate area. So it's U of I, ISU, NIU, SIU, CNE. And we bring them together and they battle it out for a thisis50.com interview. You can Google that and see me back when I was like 19. But yeah, doing radio, it sparked something in me. And even though I'm a model now and I'm an entrepreneur, shout out to Go Girls, I don't do radio anymore, but it sparked something in me. Like I said, I was the nerdy girl. I was not like the, it girl. So when I started doing radio, I'm the type of person, I like to take something here and I like to take it here. So, I didn't just want to be on the radio. That's why I started the Cypher event. And then it became a thing where I had to come from behind the mic and get in front of a camera. And I ended up graduating with a media broadcast and a marketing degree. I did not choose to go forward with a master's only because even though I do believe education comes first, to be in media, most people don't need college. I think that, like I said, it's not the courses, it's what you learn and your experiences and what you go through and how you come into womanhood, in college that taught me a lot, but I didn't feel the need to go get a master's. I might go get it one day just to say that I got it. But right now it's grind mode. I'm focused on Go Girls and that's it.
Now, in terms of college, somebody watching this looking to enroll, thinking about enrolling, what is your advice to someone thinking about enrolling? Because there's different people's standpoints on college. Some people say you need it. Some people say you don't need it. Some people go to college and end up doing a job that they didn't go to college for. Other people say a trade school is better. And other people have dropped out from college and been just as successful if they would have gone to college. Someone like Bill Gates or Kanye West and so on and so forth. What's your stance on somebody thinking about enrolling into college in the general sense?
I think you need to do everything that's for you. So I tell a lot of my mentees in my program, when it comes to college, that needs to be, like you said, some people feel a need for it, some people don't, but that need has to be up to you. Even if you said, I don't want to go to a 4-year accredited university, I'm going to go to a trade school, go to a trade school that you want to go to. Don't take up, mechanics because you want to make quick money, or don't start doing hair because you think that that's a way. No, do whatever your passion is. And sometimes I do believe that college and that experience of, being taken from your immediate family and being placed, in a whole nother living community, and being able to find out more about yourself, sometimes that experience allows you to find out what your passion truly is. And that's when you get the college dropouts. Bill Gates, he did drop out, but that was, I think he was in Harvard or Yale or something like that. He didn't drop out of, just a regular community college, but whatever happened at that university, whether it was something that he did not like or something that he did like, and he saw that he needed to leave the university to make that happen, he still had to do what? Be at the university. So he had a need for it. He would have never went. It's a process. So anyone who does want to go to college or they're thinking about it, I would say start early. That's where a lot of people, especially African American high school students, that's where they drop the ball. It starts your freshman year. It's not a sprint, you guys. It's really like a marathon when you think of the whole education system. And, if you didn't take your freshman, sophomore, junior year of high school seriously, when you get to your senior year, now you have grades and transcripts and SAT scores and ACT scores that aren't up to par with what you wanted to do. So now you don't want to go to college because you can't go to the college that you wanted to go to. But really, that's not nobody's fault but your own, because you have to start early. So even if it's something that you want to do that doesn't require college, if you want to do music, it starts now. You can't just wake up and just say, I'm going to just cut a mixtape and send it off to streeties. No, that takes time. You need to be in the booth every day. You get what I'm saying? And trying to really perfect whatever your craft is. So whether it's going to college or just jumping right into your profession, I tell most people, find out what you love to do and how you can make money from it. And I think college taught me that. It pushed me out of my shell. I had to host, talent competitions and stuff like that on campus, and I wasn't used to that type of stuff, but look what it created, So it's a blessing.
If you could do it all over again, would you do it?
Would I go to college? Yes, I would. Now, I wanted to go to the University of Miami. My mom made me go to U of I because it was in Illinois and she didn't want me to leave. And I'm so grateful that I did choose to go to U of I because I ended up becoming the face of it. And I think when that happened is when I kind of felt like I could probably do this modeling thing. That's when I got into social media. The night I won that title, I changed my Twitter handle to Miss U of I. And my Instagram handle, and that caused like oh my God, that's so arrogant of her and yada yada. But it's just like, no, let's use it as a platform. Let's use it. I'm a voice now, I'm a face now, like let's get it out there, let's do this. And I think that's how I've been able to be even as successful as I have been on Instagram. A lot of people like to say, oh, Instagram doesn't mean anything. When 100,000 people follow you, when 1 million people follow you, that says something. That says something. And even if you're not the person that has all those followers, if you do something that requires for you to work with those type of people, that says something. Birds of a feather flock together, and nobody gets to where they are overnight. It took time for me to be sitting here on your couch, Smallz. It took time for you to be behind the camera interviewing me. Everything takes time. And I just think that's what people need to remember.
Jobs you had growing up, if any.
You said what?
Jobs you had growing up, if any.
Okay. My first job, you want me to be honest, Smallz, and tell you what my first job was?
We love honesty on the White Couch.
First of all, let me clear this. I have never been a dancer. That's a job I've never had. A lot of people seem to think that I dance here in Atlanta or I used to dance back in Chicago. I've never been a dancer. The jobs that I've had, you would probably be surprised. My first job at 16 years old, I was a CNA. If you don't believe it, you can look it up. I was a CNA. I went and took a whole class at that community college to get my license to be a certified nursing assistant because I didn't want to make minimum wage. Everybody else was working at Burger King and McDonald's. My sophomore year, I couldn't do it. And I'm grateful for that job because it taught me about life. You know, I had to take care. I worked at a nursing home and a rehabilitation center, and the wing that I was stationed on was all the young people who had like accidents. I used to take care of a young girl. She was only 18 years old. She couldn't talk, couldn't feed herself, couldn't do anything because she had an aneurysm and just fell out one day at school. I used to take care of a patient. He was a young boy, 18 years old, you know, got shot, gang banging, couldn't walk, you know. So that humbled me at a young age. After that, I worked for a company called GMR Marketing. It's a very well-known marketing agency in Chicago, Illinois. I worked for Comcast, and then I worked for Verizon.
These places you quit or you got fired?
Oh, I've never been fired. So that's what's so strange. I've never been fired. The nursing home, I had to quit once I graduated and went to college. I tried to come back and it was just too much. And then honestly, that's when I started kind of, you know, feeling myself. So I was like, I don't want to do this. With the GMR marketing, that was just a temporary job while I was in college. So I was the brand ambassador for Comcast Xfinity on my college campus. So I was responsible for signing the students up for packages. And Verizon, want to know what's so weird, Smallz? I just quit Verizon days ago. And that's like a powerful thing for me right now. Like, because that's what, you know, I used as my cushion to come out here. But I don't know, honestly, this whole thing with Black Lives Matter and that protest, it just sparked something in me because honestly, I was kind of indifferent about Atlanta. I love the ambiance, but you know, kind of in the field that we work in and me just doing my business, I did kind of run into some fake people. I had to learn the hard way. Atlanta is a town where everybody either is famous or they think they're famous. You know, so I had to learn that it's a lot of snakes in the grass. And I went home for the holidays to actually see about going back. And it's something with that protest and me seeing how Atlanta just showed up and showed out. And I will go on record and say, never have I ever seen something like that in Chicago. And we have a huge city. We could do numbers, but never have I ever seen so many young African-American people come together. And, you know, a lot of the people who participated in that march, I saw they were at work, left from where they were, you know, but they could do that because they're a lash tech and they own the studio that they work out of. You know, they're artists, so they're in the booth, they're able to leave. And what was powerful for me, I had to work. And it brought my mind back to when I worked for Verizon in Chicago. I was downtown Chicago. I worked at the one right across from the John Hancock building. And it was a protest going on, and everybody was laying out in the street in all black clothing. And I walked out of work and laid in the street. And my manager wrote me up for that. And I'll just never forget, like, it was just so many emotions. So me seeing that with that protest, I was just like, it's time to just let it go. So I just quit, you know. And I've never been a quitter. You know, I've always I didn't even give a 2-week notice. It's bad. Like, but I felt like that was the time. Like, I just think it's the time for everything right now, for people to stand up and rise up and do what makes you happy, be able to pay it forward and make somebody else happy and feel secure. I think now is the time for people to just do what they want to do in the most positive and direct way. So
you quit because of the protests?
I quit for various reasons, but the protest, I'm not going to lie. I can't think of her name, but I follow a lash tech, and she was literally like, I'm on Instagram, I'm looking at, you know, her doing her work, and then the next video she posts of everybody coming, like, from the streets, you know, just like running. I think the cops had blocked where they were trying to get on the expressway, so they ran the opposite way. And she was just like, come on, Atlanta, like, and she's not from Atlanta either. And she was like, come on, Atlanta, like, I'm about to come down there with you. And her and her client went down there, and I thought about, you know, me working for Verizon, and Verizon is a great company. Anybody who has a 9-to-5 job that they're using to be, you know, that foundation for whatever they are doing as far as their dream, I will definitely say that's smart, but at some point you're gonna have to let it go. And my mother told me when I moved to Atlanta, she said, you're gonna have to eventually quit Verizon. You're gonna have to quit your job because Atlanta is gonna put you in a position where you're gonna have to choose. And I never would have thought that the protests, I thought maybe, you know, the interviews, it was many of times I got calls to do, you know, very well-known artist videos, and I couldn't do it because I had to work, you know, and just all of that building up. But that protest, that's what did it for me. And it's just like, do I risk, you know, me seeing another protest and getting written up, you know, for what I believe in, or just me not being able to walk off the clock and participate in something that is near and dear to me? Or, you know, do I stay doing something that I barely like and have it hinder what I'm trying to do that I actually love? You know, it pushes your back against a wall, and I will say I'm grateful for that. Atlanta taught me that, like, to chase your dream, you got to.
Now, what videos, looking back, have you missed that you could have been a part of because of you took work over a music video opportunity?
Oh my God. It's so many.
And what's the biggest one that you kind of was like?
The Bootsy video.
Which one?
It was the one that they recently just did with the all white. One of my Go Girl models, she's in the video. And I will say about Atlanta, that they do have, that's a little bit better than Chicago. You guys have a great support system here. So it is kind of like, you know, people will try to put other people on, and I've met some amazing networks that, you know, they will call and they'll text me, they'll email me, you know, and say, you know, I have this person that wants to do a video for this day, or this person that wants to do a video for this day. I could just never do them. And, you know, it's not even about the artists, because to be honest, some of the big time artists, it's not paying. Like, you get what I'm saying? I've had artists that I've never heard of. They don't even have, you know, 10K, and they offering $100 an hour for me to do their video. And I still couldn't do that because I had to punch a clock. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't so much about who the artist was. It just kind of made it hard for me to do what I needed to do, which was to get that exposure out there as far as me being a model, and then me being able to have access to tell more people about my company, Go Girls.
Now, when you spoke about those jobs, were there any crazy stories dealing with any of those jobs that you mentioned?
Oh my God. What's a crazy story? Oh my God. It's been so many. I'll tell most people, if you've never worked a service job, I definitely think everybody should at least experience that, because it's a humbling experience, you know. Just this morning when I was looking up some stuff trying to prepare for this interview, I got a comment on Instagram. I guess one of my followers, who's a young girl, she works for Verizon too, and she commented like, what Verizon store are you at? This damn fine. I've been in stores, and I've had people who follow me on Instagram recognize me in the store and embarrass me in front of these old ass white people that don't know who the hell Nadia is, you know, or what Go Girls is. I've had customers, for example, I paid for an advertisement, a digital advertisement outside of the Georgia Dome for Beyonce's concert a couple of months ago. And literally, I work at Peachtree City. That's like 50 miles outside of Atlanta. And I'm working with this old white couple. We're upgrading her daughter's phone. Her daughter actually comes to pick up her phone. And I reached down to give her my Verizon card. And I would always keep my Go Girls cards and my Verizon cards back to back. So I gave her my last Go Girls card, and she saw my last Verizon card. She saw the Go Girls card, and her daughter said, I saw your ad outside. I went to the Beyonce concert. I saw your ad. And that to me was like, it's working. Like it was like, now it's starting to really go up. But it was kind of weird because my manager was like, what's Go Girls? Or who's Nadia? And I was just like, nothing.